Good morning and welcome to another episode of Tokyo Reds. We're Liverpool fans based in the land of the rising sun, and yeah, it's good to be back. It's not been a very exciting week for Liverpool Football Club, or a couple of weeks really. We went off on our holidays, and so did we, so that was pretty cool. However, it's not been a very good day at the moment for Claudio Ranieri, who's just this morning in Japan time really, or last night, whatever, got sacked by Leicester, which is, you know, just after winning the Premier League, which is pretty mental. But there we go. Tom, do you think it's the right decision?
No, I don't personally. And I think the timing's really strange. I think they should have given him till the end of the season. But also the fact that they've just lost 2-1 away in the Champions League, that's not a bad result against the Europa League champions. If they win that match 1-0 at home, or if they win by 2 goals, they're coming through to the quarters. I think the timing's really weird personally. And also I think it's the wrong decision.
Yeah, fair enough. You know, there's always, always usually happens, team that's, not doing very well, sack the manager, and they usually get a bit of a sort of bounce from it. Do you think it's good or bad for Liverpool?
It's one of them because you don't really know what's going to happen, do you? Because you don't know who they're going to get. Sorry. Don't know who they're going to get by Monday, if they get anybody. So, selfishly, I hope they don't get anybody in, because it's just going to throw them in to more turmoil, isn't it? But yeah, they're in big trouble this season, Leicester. Sad to see, really, because it was kind of nice to see the underdog. But, I think that's another thing about Ranieri getting sacked, is that they were underdogs. Yeah. Last season was lucky, and they've gone back to like their true form, you know what I mean? And so they did, yeah. I think it's just expecting too much of him.
Yeah, quite possibly, and that's the problem, innit? Expectations in football nowadays, I just think it's ridiculous. And yeah, I can, in some parts I can kind of understand it. Leicester have been in absolutely poor form, which we're going to go on to in a minute. But yeah, it's just mental, absolutely mental when your team's in the Champions League and it's Leicester City, for God's sake. You know what I mean? It's absolute nuts. But there we are. Anyway, so yeah, Leicester have been in terrible form recently. They played well against Sevilla, but they lost 2-1. Before that, they lost to Millwall in the FA Cup as well. And before that, they lost to Swansea 2-0 in the Premier League. So they haven't scored a goal in the Premier League this year either, which is pretty shocking, to be honest. So there we are. So yeah, they're currently they're 17th in the league, point above the relegation zone. And the reverse fixture was 4-1 to Liverpool in the opening day for the new main stand, which is pretty cool. Okay, so yeah. So whilst they prepared for Sevilla game and played the Sevilla game and also played against Millwall, Liverpool went on their holidays and went to Manga for a training session. A place that me and John actually went on holiday a few years ago, and Manga's a very nice place. So there we go, pretty crazy. So yeah, I think Mané and Klopp both came out and described it as kind of a pre-season session for the end of the season kind of thing, which I think is really, really cool, really awesome. So Tom, how much do you think it's going to help Liverpool?
I think it's going to help massively. I mean, Jurgen Klopp was saying, I think it was about a week ago, he was saying that the winter break so key to his style of play. And of course, Liverpool, we haven't had a winter break, but because we're out the Cup, we're not in Europe, we've had 2 weeks. And I think also the players, because what happened recently, like the bad form, but then the win against Tottenham and Melwood, everyone coming together and saying what's gone wrong. I think this is really good for them in terms of bonding and in terms of just getting a rest as well. Because all gegenpressing, the amount of energy that uses. I mean, you could see last season with the Europa League and the Premier League, we just had to pick one. It was like, do we go for top 4 or do we go Europa League? Of course, we got to the final, but you could see it was knackering out the players. I think we're going to be pretty fresh for these I hope for the last 13 games, at least for the next few. But I think it's really good for us. I think it's really good as well for bonding. And yeah, I think it's positive. Sorry.
No, fair enough. John, so hopefully we have had some problems obviously this year so far. What do you think we'll hopefully be able to fix?
I think morale. I think that was a big thing, and getting more unity in the team. But still the biggest thing was more just breaking down teams. I mean, it's good that we've had that break. But one thing that did kind of bother me was, like you said, I read the same article where it's like Klopp was like, oh, the winter break suits my style. It's like, yeah, but you haven't got one. So, you can't complain about, you can't really complain about it. It's one of them, you don't have a winter break, kind of adjust your system around that, philosophy. But yeah, it's always good to see them getting away, and 2 weeks is, as long as it's light training sessions, it can make a big difference.
Apparently the training sessions have actually been quite intense. Apparently, but I think it's just get them ready, get them like proper, like absolutely like the body ready for the final push, so we can just go mental. Hopefully, so there we go. So also in the news, Adam Lallana signed a new deal, contracted now to 2021, which is mint. How important is Lallana now going forward?
I think it's massive. I mean, we talk about the importance of Mané, but Lallana, especially this season, he's come on. I mean, the thing is, he was always working really hard. He was linking up well, but this season, I think you mentioned a few times, getting the goals. That's the thing. All of a sudden, he started getting the goals. He's been involved in so many, and for him to sign this contract, and what he came out and said, he said, "Look, there's a plan here. We're going forward. I believe in this." Again, in terms of unity, that's good. He's saying to the manager, "I believe in I believe in where you're taking us," and it's just so kicks. He's a great player. He's one of the best, and I think his value is going to just go up so much at the end of this season. So yeah, to keep him, so key.
Yeah, no, it is, and obviously Coutinho signed a new contract fairly recently as well. So it's good to see these important players signing, right?
Yeah, definitely. They bring flair as well, don't they? And I think that's what our kind of system relies on. This kind of quick thinking and almost like awkward passes, but they look pretty spectacular when they pull them off. I'm made up. To be honest, I love Lallana. I think he's boss. But yeah, so tying down these players is a really good sign for the future, because now we think we need to fix a few more problems like left back and probably a holding midfielder, and and then we're kind of almost the finished article, pretty much the finished article at that point.
It's very, very true, and no, it's great to see, and we talked about unity, and that is another sign of it. You know what I mean? And yeah, I'm very happy. I think Coutinho and Lallana are our best two players, and we just signed them onto big long contracts. So happy days. So let's talk about the game. It's Monday night in the UK, Tuesday bloody morning here, which is what it is, basically. But yeah, Tom, what do you think? Obviously, it's a bit mental at Leicester City at the moment. In the league, they've been awful. They've just sacked their manager. What should we expect from them?
Well, it's mad because let's imagine Ranieri had stayed. I was already quite confident because of their form. I was like, it's banana skin, but they just seem to have lost belief this year. So I don't know what's gone wrong. But now it's like, okay, so it's Thursday here. Oh, sorry, it's Friday here, isn't it? If they get a manager today, he's literally got today and the weekend to prepare for that match against Liverpool. I don't want to sound too harsh, but I don't expect much from them on Monday. I really don't expect much. I don't know what's gone wrong, but I don't see them as a major threat. I see maybe one or two players that could cause us problems, but no, sorry.
Oh yeah, fair enough. We're on as you can see, we're at the lake called Shinabazu Lake, and we're on kind of a platform which floats. It's really weird. It's making me a bit seasick, to be honest. Yeah. John. Obviously against Spurs, we were so fast getting out the blocks, really attacked them. They shipped themselves and we battered them in the end of the day. Before that, we were starting games quite slow, getting into it as the game went on. How do you think Liverpool are going to approach it?
I think it's going to be very similar to the Spurs game, because Leicester need to win games, and it's home game, so they need some sort of boost, and it's one of them. If they win this game, I don't think they will, but if they win this game, then they've got the Sevilla rematch, and so it could be a big boost for them. So you'd expect them to go for it, but you've got to think with Ranieri gone, who are they going to get that's much better for Leicester? I know they're in the Champions League now, but they're not going to be there next year. They might not even be in the Premier League next year. So you've got to think high-profile manager. It's not really good. So you're going to get some maybe. Who's the guy who just got sacked from Blackburn?
Owen Coyle. I was just thinking, Owen Coyle. Don't go Owen Coyle.
That's basically the calibre they're going to get now. So, but I don't expect them much from. Oh, how big's he? I don't expect much from them in terms of. I think they're going to go out and attack, but I just don't think they've got the tactics down, because they're at 6s and 7s at the moment.
Yeah, I mean they're always dangerous when you got like Vardy on the pitch. You're always dangerous. They got also a very good goalkeeper who I thought had a cracking game against Sevilla, Kasper Schmeichel.
But even with Vardy, that was his first goal since December. Yeah. And it's just like they haven't won. They've lost 14 games in the league this year compared to 2 last season. That's shocking.
Yeah, no, it is absolutely crazy. I hope we come straight out of the box. I think we need to just, if we score an early goal, it'll just quieten down there. Confidence will drop again, and we should go on and win. Then it's been, again, it keeps on coming. The question keeps on coming and coming and coming. It's again reared up again. Is it time to bring Karius back or stick with Manga?
It's Max. If you'd asked me before the Spurs game, I would have said Karius, but Minglet, he didn't have too much to do against Spurs, but when he was called upon, he did his job. It's such a horrible question, because it's just like, I mean, the fact it keeps coming up, it shows there's still problems with both of them. I'd stick with Minglet, because it's 13 games, and in all honesty, that's one thing for next season. We really need to sort out a keeper. I would stick with Minglet just because he did alright against Spurs, and if we keep changing it, it's just going to get ridiculous, isn't it? And both of them are just going to lose their heads. So, yeah, stick with him for now. Sorry, that's.
No, I completely agree. To be honest, though, like a lot of people are like, oh, we need to go get a keeper. Karius isn't finished. Do you know what I mean? Like that's the thing. Like he's 23 years old. He's played a few games. He's made a couple of mistakes, but. We can't, I just think it's mental to be like, oh yeah, we need to get another new keeper. Let's see what happens. I don't know. I think if you give him a whole pre-season and all that, get him back into train him up.
Yeah, you'd be better off getting, if you were to get someone, you'd be better off getting someone like Begovic or something like that. You know, someone's at the end of their, I'm not saying he's at the end of his career, but you know, like someone who's in their maybe late 30s can do a job for now, because you got to think in maybe 2 years' time, that's when Karius is going to be the number one. It's not going to be anytime soon. So, like you say, just play him in the cup games. Build them up from that, you know.
Yeah, people saying, get Joe Hart. Don't get Joe Hart.
20 million.
20 million, no way. I know he's injured and he's had a bad injury, but Jack Butland I think would be a better signing, to be honest. Like probably around the same amount of money because of his injury, but don't get Joe Hart. He's fucking shit. Anyway, so Liverpool close to actually having a full squad. Sturridge, he went home from Manga early because he had a virus, but apparently he's fine now and he's back in full training. Lovren is still a bit of a doubt though. So who do you think should partner up with him in defence?
It's going to sound mad, but I'm actually going to say Lucas, because I was really impressed with him in the recent games, and he just I think because he wasn't sold in January, again that kind of they've kept me on, like they've got a plan for me. The fact like I'd say from recent games as centre back, I would actually feel safe with him, as mad as that might sound, because recently, go back a month or two, he was really messing up. I'd take a risk with Lucas, yeah.
Fair enough. John, obviously, Lucas is getting ahead of Klavan. Klavan's going to be pretty gutted, to be honest, got signed and, Lucas is getting played ahead of him. What would you do, Lucas or Klavan?
It's difficult, isn't it? I think I'd maybe say Klavan, just because he hasn't got the speed, but the positioning is quite good. And I think that's the thing with Leicester, because Vardy is so quick off the mark. You need someone who's going to be in the right place at the right time. And for example, that's why John Terry's so good at his position, because he knows where to be at the right time. And I think Klavan's kind of a natural defender, whereas Lucas is that's just Lucas, isn't it? Yeah. I've got nothing against him, but yeah, so I'd probably rather go with someone who's their trade is defending them.
Yeah, no, me too. I think we signed Klavan for a reason, and this is the reason, so we might as well play him. Even though if we play Lucas, I won't be that gutted, but he's got a mistake in him though. He really played well against Spurs, definitely, but can he be trusted? I don't know, but there we are. So yeah, Liverpool go to the King Power Stadium. Should be a good game. I'm quite looking forward to it, to be honest, even though it is really, really early in the morning to watch it. Tom, what's your score prediction?
I'm pretty confident, to be honest, and I think as long as we start the game the same way we did against Spurs, against the Leicester side who've just lost their manager, they're clearly low on confidence. I reckon we'll get at them. I'm going to say the same as at Anfield, 4-1. 4-1, yeah. Very, very handsome victory.
Very nice, very nice. John?
I might even go for 3-0, I think. I was going to go for 4-0, but no. I think 3-0 is a good one. Yeah, they just, what's his name? Vardy and who's the other one behind him? Mahrez, yeah. They're just two completely different players from that. They should have sold them when they had the chance, because they weren't. Again, Lightning wasn't going to strike twice with them, and I don't really see them as much of a threat as they were last year. Yeah, I think we've just got too much for them.
Yeah, obviously, they got Okazaki, obviously Japanese player. It kind of reminds me a bit of Dirk Kuyt, kind of very industrious, but final ball or finishing touch isn't right there. But there we go.
Unless it hits his head.
Yeah, unless it hits his head or his shin or his arse or something like that. For me, I'm going to say 2-0. I think we've had this bit of a training session, holiday, whatever you want to call it, and I think. It's going to take us a game or two to get into our proper rhythm, but I think we'll be good enough for them, and I think we'll go at them. I just don't think we'll have the pure 100% chemistry yet. You know what I mean? We'll probably be about 90%, and that should be enough to beat Leicester, to be honest. So there we go. And then it's top four's back on completely then. But there we go. So yeah, let us know what you think the score will be down in the comment section below. What do you think about Claudio Ranieri getting sacked as well? Because that is pretty big news. And yeah, we will see you after the game. Thank you very much. Up the Reds. Bye bye.